Okay. So, I mean, I might as well just go with the biggest things at the time in somewhat chronological order.
I
But
don't even know what that is anymore.
yeah, well, just hey, man, is everyone enjoying their hell diving? Wait,
Wow, Helldivers! Woo! It's feel good. The community. We're all in this together.
stop, hell diving, soldier.
What do you mean?
We need you to sign this.
Okay, well, that's kind of annoying, but I'll sign it. What is it?
It says here that if you live in just about every country on the planet, actually, that is not, I guess, like, the big, what, 10, 15? I don't know.
18.
18. There are 18 countries that you're allowed to play Helldivers in, and everywhere else can go f itself.
I don't understand.
Sony decided that the sickest thing to do at the peak of this game's success, its runaway darling, Helldivers 2, is to force people to sign up for a PSN account so that they can continue playing it on PC. And this was funny because when we brought this up the other day, didn't you kind of more or less
Okay, so this is actually really
exactly this?
So when I started playing Helldivers 2, it said a PlayStation account is required to play this game, but it had a big skip button. And I was like, I can't get through to make a PSN account or link it, right? So I don't want to, my exact phrasing was, I don't want to skip this and go forward and have it break on me later and fuck me out of Helldivers.
That's what it was.
And everyone said I was fucking stupid and crazy, and that made no sense.
I remember.
And I said, but I don't trust this
Yep.
because it says mandatory and then it says skip. And I people made fun of me for weeks on that because they were just like, just skip it. It doesn't matter. Well, guess what, dipshits? Sony disagreed.
So what was probably happening is you were looking at a developer implemented workaround to
it was the CEO of Arrowhead that implemented that
to a mandated message that Sony never wanted to be there, and then eventually that had to go. It was crazy because with this announcement came Arrowhead like responding on Twitter, devs responding on Twitter being like, I can't play, people are like, I can't play this game anymore, like what do I do? And they're like,
I don't know,
right? And
I've never seen a partnered company publicly state, this isn't our decision. We literally don't know what you can do. So we're working on it, and it's not our decision.
So my understanding is that they said essentially like, let your voices be heard. Tell them that what you want.
One of their Discord moderators was like, listen, keep review bombing the game. So the game was being review bombed like I've never seen any game ever get review bombed.
And they themselves were like, yeah, we don't like this either. Do what you need to do.
We're arguing with Sony every day
to make the change occur. And so it got blown the fuck up and went into the overwhelmingly negatives over the course of 48 hours.
Which is the fastest ever.
Of course, right? Now, like, this would be really annoying and stupid and dumb if it were like just putting an extra step of fuck you, sign up for our stupid shit. Like, you know, anytime a game puts in a use a Square Enix account, sign up for Uplay, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Third-party launchers on Steam, annoying shit, awful. And then
it's always annoying
and always future unfriendly, because when that shit falls apart later on, years down the line, because it's some stupid of the moment system, and then you can't use it anymore, then your game's going to have booting issues, DLC issues, and sometimes it just won't work because it can't access whatever shitty, stupid server got pulled offline years ago. But to then have it be like, and also, if you bought it too fucking bad for you in the territory that you bought it in, is insane.
And here's where the problem shows up. So Steam starts refunding people who ask for it, no matter the playtime.
Yes. Right?
Steam, I believe it is Steam that delisted the game in all those territories.
You get
right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Steam is the seller, and Steam probably doesn't want literally hundreds of thousands of people buying the game only for it to not work and getting like a lawsuit going.
That sounds like
that's outrageous.
That
right?
sounds like a class fucking action, global assault, major order.
So what do we have? We have a
waiting to
situation
happen.
where the game's getting review bombed into shit. It's literally are we talking about Kendrick and Drake? Or are we talking about Helldivers being a piece of shit? The reviews are bombing. Steam is pulling your game because Steam and I don't know what Steam and PlayStation's agreement is, but this can't be good for it.
And the instructions people are getting are literally like, okay, the first time you put in a refund request, it's going to automatically deny you because it'll see that you've had over 2 hours. Do it a second time, and then a human will see it, and they might grant it. But if they don't, it's still going through the automated process. Keep trying, and
which sucks for Steam staff,
right?
Because
and eventually, when a human being sees it and you write a message that says, I've purchased a game that I can no longer play, they will refund you. But this is horrendous on the back end.
Here's where it really falls apart, and I feel like this is very specific to Helldivers, right? Lots of games have been fucked on or delisted or had region problems, and it's in a shit show and no one's happy, right? Mm-hmm. Helldivers 2 specifically trades on the fucking comrade emotion of we are all in this together. That is the specific ideological chest feeling emotion. And this was so damaging and so upsetting. So I don't have anybody in the region. I don't have anybody that I'm friends with that is in the regions that would have been affected, right? All the friends that I play Helldivers 2 with, they're all in Canada and the US.
I got a couple people in Grenada that can't play.
Okay, right? But I'm just saying, like, I don't have any, right? Mm-hmm. But it's such a massive fucking bummer that I was like, I kind of never want to play Helldivers ever again. Because when I play it, I'll just be overwhelmed with bad vibes of, oh, right, yeah, they cut out 90% of the world on this.
I don't have that, and I don't feel that because the fact that Sony was clearly forcing Arrowhead to do something they did not want to fucking do, and they were fighting back against it, is like, this is just the bullshit of the game when you work with a shitty someone who's making shitty decisions as a publisher for you, right? This is something that is and like I saw a really great comparison point about how this is the benefit of working with a partnered AAA publisher and not being acquired by them, because this is similar to when Larian was working on Baldur's Gate and the whole licensing shit was going down with D&D, where they weren't affected by it because it's essentially like they're working on whatever they're working on that's unaffected by the larger decisions the shitty company is making. If you're in a position where they own your studio and you say anything like, yeah, keep actually review bombing because that'll...
Shut up, die.
That's the end of your company, or that's the end of the employees at the very least. Yeah, you're fucking fired, or the whole thing's shutting down. No matter what happens at that point, the game is gone regardless, but at least if you're just partnered with them, you can go your own separate ways versus the acquisition where that is the end of the entire thing and everyone's fired, you know? So, I know what you mean, but also, like, I'm always just aware that, yeah, there's always that possibility of the thing you like, the whatever, the Harmonix is making a good game, but here comes Activision, there's always the publisher getting in there and being the absolute worst pieces of shit every time. I can look at that and see that for what it is.
So I saw somebody in the chat just now say, Pat, don't blame the wrong people. And I saw other folks talking to me about that. Like, you're punishing Arrow Diver when it's Sony's fault. And it's like, one, I really dislike the mention of when somebody goes, I don't want to watch this, I don't want to play this, I don't want to buy this. And go, well, you're punishing the wrong people. It's like, you don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe people your money for consumer products that you don't want. Like, and it's not about punishing anyone. It's about, I have an emotional connection to this game, and that emotional connection is now tainted. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
So I don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I specify here that, like I said, I don't feel what you've mentioned, but I mean, sure, that's that.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I think as well, and I said I saw someone making reference to the fact that, like, apparently there was a update to the discourse where some people started going like, therefore now stop bringing this up / they reverse the decision, so everything's okay again. So
not yet. It's not. Those countries are still delisted.
But and I'm like, I didn't see enough of that to know whether or not that was true or not. But they seem to be being like, why are people acting weird about the fact that like we're still calling this a shitty thing and not just going like, oh, everything's great now, erase it, the thing never happened. I don't. Again, I didn't see enough to verify that being actually real. But yeah, I just always am like prepared for dev to do thing and then to get fucked over by shitty publisher. There was a list I saw that was like, here is platforms where they don't even list the developer and they just list the publisher, right? PSN, can you see who made the game? No, but you can see who published it. Steam, you see both and there's a link, right? Like there's like Nintendo, you don't see that like there's a bunch of places where the dev is not even worth listing in the platform holder's eyes. So I'm just kind of going in expecting this, knowing what it's like as well, just thinking of the amount of times where being inside, the team and the people working on this are like screaming that like the thing that they fucking are working on is just being ruined by this shitty, whatever, shitty decision. But yeah, it got reversed over, I guess, 3 days. After that, and so now I think
the reversal changes haven't come in yet, though. It's still delisted in those countries.
Okay, just the announcement of the back down. Well, people have refunded, and that's done damage. The review bombing has been again like spiked into the negatives, and I know that there's a like campaign on the subreddit and such for people to like try to fix the reviews. I think they need to turn that shit into a fucking cape. Have you seen the designs people have been making? No.
It's like blue background with like the 4 red lines of the negative reviews.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, they are? They are turning it into a cape?
They announced for real? That's hilarious. That's amazing. That's really funny.
It's great.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I think that the whole like, hey, let's reverse gears on this type of thing. Well, it's interesting to see that like review bombing led to like an outcome of this nature, because like there's so many instances where it ends up being like, I don't know, questionably unjustified. In this particular instance, I think what they did represents part of the history of this game and thus stands to reason that it should exist as a part of, you know what I mean? Like the reviews and like this happened. Like pretending it didn't happen sucks. I don't like that. The state of the game currently being fixed, like, should be reflected, but there shouldn't be nothing ever went wrong. It's fine.
Yeah, no, instead they're going to immortalize it. I have a tweet from the fucking CEO saying the team is just thinking about a good name for the cape right now.
Okay.
No pretending this didn't happen.
Interesting. This only worked because Arrowhead were pushing for this directly to Sony. Review bombing without that key factor.
Oh yeah, no, the fact that they were like somewhat independent is absolutely a core element. If they were not independent, if they were a fully owned subsidiary, oh no, no.
Yeah. So, and then, just combine that with the, like, again, every single recent acquisition-based explosion that we've been discussing, and it's like, yeah, it seems pretty
it's so fucking stupid, because like Sony just spent like you remember we're spending $1 billion to do live service, and that included buying Bungie and then supporting Bungie as Bungie laid off all their shit and working here and there, and like here's the live service fucking golden goose, kind of by accident. Here it is, it's for you, everyone's talking about it. It's oh yeah,
couldn't resist. Too much money on the table. We can force them over. Yep. Like, I would even hate but understand the sign up for PSN and get a special cape.
Dude, people have been talking about that for weeks. Why wasn't that the fucking thing? Sign up, get a cape. Like, you'd get everyone that could make a PSN account.
It's so stupid.
You would get everybody.
Yes, and then what would happen is, well, here's the thing. This story would be there are over 100 countries that can't access these cosmetics. That sucks. Right?
Bummer.
That would be the story. And it would be like, what? Like, that's a shitty element. But like That's still
We wouldn't
infinitely
even
better
cover it on the podcast, man.
than
It
what
wouldn't
we
have been big
fucking
enough to
have at this.
cover.
It's crazy, you know. But just like, yes, positive reinforcement as opposed to just greed and bullshit. But whatever, we know it's the same.
So you know what it was, right? It was like the people who are responsible for stealing user data out of your PSN account,
Sure.
Who have nothing to do with Arrowhead or Helldivers. They're like, well, let me get in on this.
Yeah, mouth drooling, licking their chops.
And also, my department isn't the part that does third-party relations, so I don't give a fuck what happens over there.
We have a massive interest spike. We have a golden goose that's been developed. We'll cut that shit open. Get the eggs faster. Get the eggs faster. Yeah.
If you cut open the goose's stomach to get the eggs, you can get many eggs right now. Well, the goose will be dead. Well, that's a problem for next quarter.